So this is another program where we are using the if-else statement. If you remember the previous two programs, we have used only the if condition. So here in the credit card program, you can see we have used only the if part. We have not used the else part. So up over here, we have used the else part. So this likewise, this is another program where you are using the concept of if-else. What we are doing is we are basically checking the divisibility of a number. So basically like we are entering two numbers and we are checking whether the first number is divisible by the second number or not. So we need two numbers. So what we are doing is we are taking two variables, num1 to store the first number and num2 to store the second number. So in order to read the first number from the user, we are using the input function with the message that enter the first number. So whatever the value will be given by the user from the input function, it will be by default converted into string. We have to use typecasting to convert it into integer. So we are using the int function up over here, and whatever the value will be given by the user from the input function, that will be converted into integer, and it will be stored in this particular variable. Likewise for the second number, we are again using the second input function, and we are saying that enter the second number, and again typecasting it using this int function, and the value will be stored in this second variable. After that, what we are doing is we are dividing both the numbers. So we are saying that num1 modulus num2. Modulus is used for remainder. So that if the first number divided by the second number, whatever the remainder is given, either 1 or 0, that will be stored in this remainder variable. After that, we are checking that if the value of the remainder variable is 0, that means if the first number is completely divisible by the second number. For example, we divide 4 by 2, so the remainder comes 0. If we divide 5 by 2, so the remainder comes 1. So the 4 is completely divisible by 2, but 5 is not completely divisible by 2. So that is what we are checking up over here. We are checking if the number is 0. So here you can see that we are using double equals to sign. So this is used to compare the two values, whether they are equal or not. However, if you are using a single equals to, so that is a assignment operator. It is basically used to assign the values. So here you can see in the first statement, we are reading a value from the user which is assigned to the first variable num1, because you are using single equals to sign. But up over here, when you are comparing two values, whether they are equal or not, so we have to use this double equals to sign. So if the remainder is 0, then we are printing a message that the first number is completely divisible by the second number. And if if the remainder is not 0, so then we come to the else part and we print that the first number is not completely divisible by the second number. Now if we run the program up over here on module, simply click on run module, and let's say it says enter the first number, we say 4, and it says enter the second number, let's say 2. So it is because 4 is completely divisible by 2, so the if condition is true, that remainder is 0. So it is printing that the first number is completely divisible by the second number. However, if we run it one more time and give some different set of values, let's say 5 as first number and 2 as second number, so the remainder is not 0. So that is like it is coming to the else part and it is saying that the first number is not completely divisible by the second number.